All right, good evening. I'm back. So there's this brother, right, that I talk to, hang out with. He's pretty dope. Okay. I think I told y'all he hit me to this. I don't know anybody ever seen this out there. I got my comments, closed, but whatever. Zombie repellent incense. He was telling me one time that he was at home, because he gets people stalking him and all that kind of crazy shit. That's just all the rage in the world nowadays, isn't it? Just stalk motherfuckers. But anyway, but it makes you wonder. Really, ain't nothing new under the sun. How long this shit has been happening, and maybe people have been made more aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with social media and all of that kind of stuff. Or I don't know, whatever. But so he said, I burned some, saw this woman stalking me outside my window, came up to his house just staring at him through the window, all kind of crazy shit. He said, I burned my zombie repellent. And I was like, what? You got my zombie repellent, and she went away. He said, it really worked. I said, I ain't never heard of that before. So he told me about it. And honey, I went and got me some. I didn't expect it to come in such a big box. I did see it online, but he told me the store to get it from. But anyway, the smell is all right. But I burned my zombie repellent. Okay, so I'm shifting my cards. Okay. But anyway, turning them right side up. So as many of you know, I work in education, right? I first started working in education at community colleges as an adjunct professor, right? Anybody out there know about adjunct work? Okay, it's like being a sub. in a way, in lower education, okay? I worked at, I talked about Ohio Community College, Metro and West campuses, and Lakeland Community College. And I got this job because, hell, I didn't know what to do with my life. I went to seminary and I got a master's of divinity degree. Seminary is really for people who want to be pastors. And I worked, and I came up in Church of God in Christ, and I knew I wasn't going to become a pastor. But by that point in time, I could have gone to other denominations because at the seminary I went to, there were other denominations represented there. And a lot of times they would recruit women, well, not just the women, people from a Church of God in Christ, to become pastors, because that's what you go to seminary for. Why Church of God in Christ have a seminary, it's like, you learned a lot. It's good. You learn the same thing everybody else learns, but then that doesn't mean that they were going to, you go to seminary, and you go home and you sit right back in that motherfucking pew, okay? And that's the end of that. You become an elder, a missionary, and all of that kind of stuff, right? But I was so devoted and dedicated to Church of God in Christ at that time, I wasn't, going to leave. But nevertheless, over time, I left the church. I was like, well, shit. What can I do with this degree? So the lady who raised me was a nurse, and she really just kept promoting nursing. I was like, I won't be no nurse. I won't be no damn nurse. I won't be no nurse, okay? But I said, okay, maybe I'll try it. So I go to a Tri-C to talk to a counselor about, the path they had to take to become a nurse. This was a long, long, long time ago. And I was in the man's office, and he looked at me, the counselor. He said, why are you here? And I was like, to find out about the nurse program. We barely had a conversation. He was like, you don't want to be no nurse. I said, I showed up. He was like, well, why? I said, well, career and it pays well, et cetera, et cetera. He was like, well, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. I wouldn't mind being a professor, actually. And so, I told him, what my degrees was in and whatnot. He told me exactly what to do. I followed his instructions to a T, which was, of course, you got to apply online. He said, but send your resume, your cover letter to the head of the department and I can't remember the other position. So I did. And the Metro campus, I called like twice. Back in the day they say you send your resume in and you call to show interest, and you're a go getter and blah blah blah. So I did all that. I was interviewed at the Eastern campus, but the guy who interviewed me, he was kind of a jerk. Talking about someone, I don't see yours. I think he was just racist, to be honest with you. I don't know what his fucking problem was. I don't see your school, the seminary you went to. Motherfucker, this is one of the top seminaries in the country. Don't fuck around with me. And I told him that. I said, it is an accredited seminary, one of the top in the country. He just looked at me and, looked peeved. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, come to find out, he was interim anyway in that position. And so so lady at the Metro campus, she finally got in touch with me, went in for an interview. She knew I didn't have any, official teaching experience. And she was like, but, I want to give you the position because you were persistent. You kept calling until you got through, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so I got in, and I started like in March. Those classes that are like 8 weeks long instead of the full 16 weeks. They start half the semester through. And that was an interesting experience because, it was like, she said, don't worry about what you don't know. Teach what you do know. And, you'll be learning along the way with the textbook. Okay. So I follow instructions. Then that summer, I got a call because she worked at the Western campus as well. I got a call from the Western campus, the person that was over her, and he was like, blah, blah. We talked. And he said, you will start here if you want to at the Western campus fall semester. I was like, definitely, And I said, well, when do I interview? He said, no, you don't need to interview. Just come in. You got, position is yours. Because you're supposed to interview at all campuses. But she got me in, right? Okay, cool. So then after that, I did the same thing with Lakeland. Boom, I was teaching adjunct. Okay. Now I could not I had a master's of divinity degree. Religious studies, if there's no religious studies department, it falls under the philosophy department, okay? There is no religious studies department there at either one of those schools, so it falls under the philosophy department. I did not have a master's in philosophy nor a doctorate, but I had a master's of divinity. Okay. Well, because of that, and sometimes these positions, like there was one man at the Metro campus, he taught the African American religious experience, which I taught that class one time, and I thought it was going to be easy to teach. It was not. It was very, very difficult to teach. I taught it twice, and I was like, please, I don't want to teach that no more. Okay. But anyway, there was a man at the Metro campus who taught. He had been teaching it for years. So it's like once, some jobs, when you get that position, you just kind of just stay there almost till the day you damn die, okay, or retire. I'll put it like that. But I was not able to go further because I was limited with my degrees. I had a master's of divinity. Once again, not a master's of philosophy. I had a master's of philosophy degree. I could have went further. But actually, there was one semester where they offered me a class in philosophy to teach a philosophy class. And I was getting ready for it, but what I think it was, how what happens is they will cancel class if not enough people sign up for it. So it was a class that was canceled. So I never got the opportunity to do, which I thought would have been fun. I would have really liked that. And I'm just not thinking about when I was teaching at Metro campus, one semester. A couple girls came in my class and was like, you Miss Lewis? I was like, yeah, First day of class, they was like, you got a reputation on this campus. I was like, I have a reputation on this campus? And they were like, people love your class, And that felt really good because I remember being a student, and professors having a reputation, like, it just gets around. Everybody wants to take that person's class. There was this woman at Howard. I never got to take her class. She only taught freshmen, and I was a transfer student. So I transferred my second year. So it's a black woman, and I went to schools that were predominantly white. So I never had a black teacher until I got to Howard. So man, I wanted to take her class so bad. Everybody loved this. I do not remember her name. I couldn't take the class. She only taught the freshman class. I think it was history class or whatever. But I did have a history teacher, which I mentioned on here. Her name was Dr. Elizabeth Clark Lewis. Okay. And she was cold. But anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into depth about that. So I stopped teaching at Metro because, like I said before, I think bleeding had something to do with that. But it could have been just a revamp of what was going on, because come to find out, there were other adjuncts who weren't getting assignments anymore at Metro campus at that time. The Western campus, that's a whole nother situation. I moved on away from there. And Lakeland, I had to step away. In education, at least here, the way the retirement system is set up, you cannot continue. You can't get any of your retirement monies if you are, working. So I needed it for something I was doing for my daughter, and so I had to move on away, which I hated, because once you walk away, that somebody's gonna take that position. Like I said, they're gonna be there as long as they possibly can. Because I kept trying to get back in, and the head of the department, he was like, "I got your name, but it's filled." You know what I'm saying? Okay, so anyway, okay. After that, I tried this medical. I said maybe I'll try this nursing thing, because again, my degree had put limitations on me, because I didn't want to be no pastor. I started a church. I think I talked about. I only did it. I didn't do it for long. Okay, I showed, when I was showing the receipts of Breauna Jewell Bellamy lying about me. Okay, I showed it on my it was on my flash drive or whatever, and it's that's more than a notion. You know what I'm saying? I really was like, I'm not. I don't want to do this. I'm not really ready to do anything like this. Okay, but I did it for a while. It was in my living room. My dad came. His girlfriend would come. A lady I used to work with came. It was kind of cute. My daughter, of course, she came. Her father would come sometimes. Okay, but anyway, I really didn't want to be a pastor. There was a church. There's a Lutheran church here that I used to preach at. Sometimes they would call me to preach there when the pastor was not there. I think it's called Good Shepherd, if I remember correctly. Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. But I would do Sunday. I would teach Sunday school, and then I would preach on Sunday morning. So I said, well, okay, maybe I'll try this nursing thing again. I said, I'm gonna try this medical assisting program. It just was like, this just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? I did get a job as a medical assistant but it was from home, believe it or not. Okay. And I was like, this just is not for me. I didn't like working from home. It's just not for me. So when that ended, I said, what am I going to do? I had Sister Lots at the time. Okay, for those of you who saw me on my old channel, I had Sister Lots. Well, this was in the early stages of it, them. And the lady who was doing my Sister Lots, she used to do, when my daughter had Sister Lots, she did hers. And she said, why don't you try being a substitute teacher for a while? That's what she had done. And I said, okay. So got right in, okay, because substitute teachers are needed, okay, desperately. I think all over the country. Okay, you see what's happening with education. Sister on here who I watch, she hit me to this channel on here about what's happening with the education system right now, more so with students. Okay, so I said, okay, I'll try this for a little while, and it was something that I only planned on doing for a short period of time. Okay, but I've been doing it since 2000. I think 2019. Okay. And before that, I was working at that gym I'll be telling y'all about on here where Pissies threw me out of. Okay. In which I had fun there. Okay. But anyway, but it wasn't anything, I was going to try to live off of. It's temporary. So I am a substitute teacher. have worked with everything from, I've talked about this, I worked with everything from pre-K to seniors. Okay, I worked in the city, I worked in the suburbs, I have been a building substitute. I have done long-term substitute teaching, where long-term is where I actually have a particular topic that I'm acting in the role of the teacher, because there's no teacher there. Okay. I did get a job as a teacher in New York and Brooklyn. I showed that. Um, there are many times I had thought about becoming a teacher. There's one lady that I work with, that I have worked with. She's an assistant principal, and well, she did an internship as an assistant. When I met her, she was doing her at a middle school. Okay, she was doing her internship as an assistant principal, but she ended up having to act in the role of assistant principal, not the internship, because the assistant principal left. And then she finally was able to do her internship as an assistant principal for 2 years. I worked with her again. It was in another building, and she's just a lovely, lovely woman. And she's just always like telling me, "Nikki, girl, don't do it, don't do it, don't." Don't do it. Don't become no. She said, "I'm done. I'm out of here." She put in her time. And if you pay attention, you will see the amount of people that are running from the profession. Okay, because it's not easy. Okay, working with not so much. Well, that's part of it. That's a huge part of it. Working with children. Okay, with the climate as it is, um, especially when there are no consequences. In a lot of schools, there's no consequences. Okay, or it's little to nothing. Okay, and these children nowadays, because I don't agree with the soft parenting thing. Now, I'm not saying it got to be. I don't think it has to be one extreme or another. Okay, like I feel kind of like a little bit like my time. I'm Generation X. It was, this is what it is. These are the rules. You break them. Here the consequences. Boom. That's the end of that. There wasn't a whole lot of soft, woo, woo, woo. Okay, and catering and cuddling to your every little feeling that you have, that got this thing where they gotta feel good all the time and perfect and happy. It's just like, it's not real. Okay. um People, what the lady who raised me, what did she used to say to me? She said, the law is for the lawless. Okay. Human beings need uh boundaries and guidelines. Okay, you just use the law, just the street law. If it wasn't no red light, yellow light, green light, I mean, it would just be mayhem out there. And that's why they developed that shit. Okay, but I remember when I studied about, I didn't study, I was watching a video sometime years ago about the history of stoplights, and how the cars was up there, people were driving, but there weren't any, and it was just a lot of accidents. It was crazy. So okay, well, we need guidelines here. Okay, so it can be a challenge, okay, when you don't have that. And not only that, teachers, listen, the amount of work they give teachers is insane. Isn't. So they have this thing called an alternative teaching license, where you don't necessarily have to go for the whole, 2-year or 4-year program. Okay, you take this test. If you pass it, you can go on. They have the schools for you to go to, for you take the classes for maybe like 3 months or something like that. And you don't get the license until a district hires you. Okay, and when I first started well, not when I first started in subbing, I was at a high school. I was a building sub at a high school. Now that's when I learned about it. And they were saying that some of the districts don't want to hire people with that. Okay, I don't know about now. That this was quite a while ago. I don't know about now, because the need for teachers is great. And so I said, well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So I took the test for English, what they call it now, ELA, English Language Arts. Listen, I don't care what anybody out there says or fucking thinks. If you have not taken that test, you do not know. That test was hard than a motherfucker. It was shit on that motherfucking test. I'm like, goddamn, what are they talking about? Okay. If I ever did study this, I probably was like in the 8th fucking grade or some shit like that. So I met with a woman at one of the schools, who, young woman, she had just graduated from college, and her major was English. And she said, I took that test. That's how she got her alternative teaching license. She said, I only passed by a couple of points. That's how hard it is. Because they don't separate. Like, say you want to teach um, primary, elementary. It's not separated. Okay, this is the test for those who want to teach elementary, middle school, high school. No, it's just a generalized test. But the one that people say is the easiest is math, because there's a great need for math teachers. But see, when I was a teacher, that the all them lesson plans and all that shit you got to do. But then every district is different, every school is different. Some schools will not make you do that. Like when I was an adjunct professor, the only thing they wanted to see was that syllabus at the beginning of the semester. It's just such a totally different atmosphere and environment, and it's just very different. They want to see that syllabus at the beginning of the semester. Okay, they approve it, disapprove whatever, say work on it, and boom, that's the end of that. And then, like when I was growing up in school, you see, I remember like my first day of school. I talked about this, and I remember one of the the children was. I don't know if I talked about this. I was talking to somebody about it, but I don't know if I talked about it on here. I'm an East Sider, so I was sent to school. This is when I was working for the city. I mean, Cleveland is huge, So the school was all the way far west side, and I was like, oh my God, where am I going? I've never seen this before. Okay. So I get there, and it was 8th graders. It was middle school. Well, it was my very first day subbing. I just picked the school. They weren't the children. They were not bad. They just were not disciplined at all. Every time I told them to sit down, they'd be like, okay. They sit down like 5 seconds later, they up partying. Okay. And I just said, So I remember it was a couple times, the security guard ran upstairs to the room. And he was like, he could hear me all the way downstairs, right? And he could hear them, because they was partying. They were not disrespectful to me, like talking to me, Nancy, or anything. Disrespectful in that they wouldn't sit down, and do their work. But honey, they was they was partying, and they was the population over there is I hope I'm saying it right. Don't get mad at me if I'm not, but it's a Hispanic population, so it was just like the room was just crazy, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how it was. It was like one black kid in there. So I go to the elevator for my lunch because they had an elevator pack. I get on, ladies in there start giggling. I'm like, okay, why are they laughing? Lady looked at me. She said, is this your first day subbing? She said, we can hear y'all throughout the whole building. It was that wild and crazy. The principal even came to the fucking room. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. And it was for half a day. So when the teacher came, I was ready to run up out of there. Teacher asked me to stay. I was thinking, for what? Okay, let me go. Gives me free, goddamn. Okay, but anyway, I've been doing it ever since. When I was in school, that's what the guy came. He said, no, remember you can call security. Well, that wasn't even a thought for me, because when I was in school, I hadn't been in school, lower education, since I had been in school. There was no such thing. The security was the damn teacher. Okay. And if you was off chain, you went to the vice principal's office. And if you was really off chain, you went to the principal's office. If you was going to the principal's office, that means your mama was about to be called. And you knew that was it. Your ass was grass, period. No such thing. Okay, any longer. security, you got intervention specialists, you got paraprofessionals, you got the speech person, and it is person and that person. And you got the room, with the where they put the padding on the walls, them gym mats, them thin gym mats all over the wall when the child lose their fucking mind. Okay, and I've seen this confirmation. I've seen this in elementary school where the child lose their fucking mind and go crazy. The child, they just send them in the room. And I don't work with all of them. Okay. They don't give a fuck. You a sub, especially if you are a building sub. You're going to work with every single thing in this building. Okay. And, when you have issues with children, I'm not talking about as a sub, I'm talking about just as a teacher. It's constant. They call their parents, call the teachers, put on the teacher where before it used to be put on the administration. I'm not saying they don't, but a lot of it's put on the teacher. Lesson plans. Then all the little extracurricular volunteer to do at least 2. I mean, it's just constant. And you think, well, they have summers off. They may not be in the building, they're working. It's something where they really don't get that much off in the way that you would think that they do. Okay. And you see these videos, these children beating the shit out of their teachers and all of that kind of stuff. Subs, teachers, they don't give a fuck. There are days, my job is real easy, honestly. Okay. And I've had some situations, plenty, where I've had to call security. But see, I try to nip shit in the bud. Okay, I see where this is going. I'm not letting shit, linger. But then you get into the swing of it, and you learn how to read the room, and you learn how to read the students, and you learn, what district you in, and what building you in, and how the students, the personality of the stuff in general, the population and culture in this building versus this building, this district versus that district, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. One thing about subbing, being a sub. And when I say a building sub, you are assigned to that particular building, whatever district. You are assigned to that building. You're there every day. There may be like up to 4 of you there. I've heard of some buildings having up to 6 building subs. Why? Because teachers burnt out than a motherfucker. And the need is great. Whether the teachers are there or not. Hell, it's been plenty of days I would go to work. Every teacher's in the building, but you're still needed. There's work to do. Now it has its moments of sheer boredom. Okay. I gotta constantly check my phone here. Okay. There's moments of sheer boredom. One thing about being a building sub, though, that's, you become a part of the family, that building, with the students as well as the staff. Okay. The students don't look at you as any different. Okay. When they know you and they see you there all the time. And I've been a sub long enough at this point that, I pretty much work, and I have a certain districts that I work in that I like, those are the districts I go to. So for the most part, those students, a lot of the students, they are familiar with me. They know my face. And like I said, I had one student, me and this girl, she was in middle school. I said, somebody in at the school, speak. She had that last word no matter what. And whether she was in the wrong or not. But that girl, me and that girl go toe to toe. Every time I see that girl, she gives me the biggest hug. And one time she told me, she's at the high school now. She told me, Miss Lewis, if anybody bothers you, you let me know. Okay. Nice, right? Thing about it, though, when you are a good sub, I don't know how you can't be, but according to people I've talked to, teachers and admin, trust me, there are some that are they're kind of incompetent. I don't know. I'm just like, how? Okay, but you have situations, where it's just they just don't vibe in that environment. Okay, and you have a lot of older people that are retired teachers. Okay, people that are married, maybe their husband take care of the house and whatnot, or whatever, or they just want something to do, whatever the case may be. Okay, or this is my job. Okay, and sometimes though, when you're pretty good sub, they really don't want to move you out of that position. Okay. Some districts, will this is a good way to get in, and it's a stepping stone to because there's a whole hell of a lot to do with education. Okay. Some districts, hell no, you're a good sub, we're gonna keep you in this motherfucker. You can forget it, bitch. You come to work, you come on time, you know what the fuck you're doing. The children love you, the staff love you. We're gonna keep you in this position. We need subs, goddamn. And good ones. I have been called, okay, by admin. We need a sub in this building, and we know you're a good one. Will you apply? Goddamn. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with honest work. Sometimes you have situations where you have people who do not respect you in your position. I'm not talking about young people, because they may think it's minor or nothing. Now, in Ohio, and I would think across the country, but I'm not really sure, you have to have a bachelor's degree to be a sub. At least you used to. I know during COVID, I think, or during that time period, I think they kind of came up off that, okay, because of what was happening, and the need was just out, it was great, okay. But I think they went back to it. Now, one day I'll make a video about all the stories that I can think of when I was a sub. Like I said before, I got a lot of stories. But bitch, let me tell you something, Miss Breauna Jewell Bellamy. Because I had heard and it's not beyond you. I said the bitch probably did. Bitch, I know you couldn't have been making fun of me and what I do, the work that I do. Because bitch, you don't do shit but get on this motherfucker I'm a subcon. No, you were not a subcon. You don't shit. You, like I said, crawled your ass, slithered your ass up here, following me, and was collecting rent for pissies. I don't have no shame about being a substitute teacher. Now, do I get paid millions to be a substitute teacher? No, I don't. As y'all can see, if you've paid attention, educators don't get paid a whole lot of money. And see, I work with a whole lot of fucking children who have to deal with parents like your motherfucking ass, Breauna, Jewell, Bellamy, who decides they just gonna up and leave them and abandon them. For white men all across the world to impress somebody. One thing about working in with the big children, with the older children, it's a lot of disrespect, okay, in this world right now. I mean, just fucking disrespect. Even if they're not saying anything directly to you. And I said this before, the other day, I think, I can sit in a room in a high school. Usually in the morning, they're very quiet. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. But by the end of the goddamn day, definitely after lunch. In any building, really, any grade. But definitely after lunch. It's on and popping. They done got the sugar up in their system. They done got warm. Their bodies done got warm. You know, they have awakened. Okay. It's on and popping. So a lot of times, they'll be in that room. They ain't gonna do their work. Some people will do their work. You have some classes, they'll do their work. But a lot of times they're not gonna do their work. You can't force them. Okay. Elementary is a little different. By high school, you can forget it. And they're loud in their conversation. Just cussing and just saying all manner of stuff. And it's like a taunting, wanting the adult in the room to say something to them. And I realized, and I said, a lot of these children here doing this shit, a lot of times these children they want attention. Okay, they want attention. And sometimes you give them the attention that they want. You know, and they give you a lot of pushback and fight. A lot of them honestly don't. A lot of them want you set some ground rules because, you know, human beings, they want boundaries and guidelines. Shit. A lot of them won't. They're respected. Okay. So, bitch, if you did, and I know your motherfucking ass did. See, I work with a lot of children of mothers whose mothers are like you. Not there. Like the one little boy said to us one time after he got done acting a fool. And they said, we're going to call him. My mother is on Facebook all day. Like you sit and you sat and you watched every little thing I said and did on my YouTube. Scour on me on Facebook and scour me wherever the fuck you could. And screenshotting all my fucking pictures from my personal Facebook, bitch. To have something to say about it. My mama don't give a fuck. My mother's on Facebook all day. My mother don't give a fuck. She's on YouTube all day. Pretending. Now, these are the children I work with. Yours. You have some children, little children, little ones, they can't stop. I had one child hug me all day long. The little boy could not stop hugging me. Hug. Okay, you have to go sit down to your seat now. Because the child ain't getting no fucking hugs. Young women, young girls, older ones, whose mamas ain't paying them one lick of a fucking attention. None. No guidance. None. Bitch, I work with your fucking children. Because you ain't working with them. You admit it. You said on YouTube, you ain't got time to be no goddamn mama because you's the great spiritual masters. You gonna kill all the children of anybody that speaks against you. You gonna kill them too. Because you was Archangel Midas and King Arthur Uthas Pendragons. A bitch who ain't never did shit ain't got no room to open their mouth about a mother eyes. You wasn't no fucking subcontract. You was kid collecting that man's rent. Ain't did shit. I mean, somebody want to market yourself as something. Well, a goddamn fool. Because that's what you do. And that's what you are. And somebody gonna give you $23 million. You're not gonna work for it. They just gonna give it to you. I work with children who they will sit in the room, we talking about little ones, and sleep all fucking day. Why? Because they being thrown from pillar to fucking post. No home. And they living here, there, and everywhere. No sense of security. None. Angry than a motherfucker. I have seen rage. The older ones, they got the disrespect because they mad than a motherfucker. Needy as fuck. And a lot of the little ones got more emotional issues than the law should fucking allow. Not one or two, half the goddamn room. Plus. Bitch, your ass couldn't even walk in the fucking building. And with all that mouth you got, you'd be one of these on one of these videos getting knocked upside the fucking head. If you ain't cowered in the corner some goddamn where. One shuffle. Let's see what this is all about with your motherfucking ass. 3 of Wands, upright. Queen of Cups in reverse. Temperance, upright. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. The Emperor, upright. Ain't did shit a day in your fucking life. I went to nursing school but couldn't finish because of the black magic. No, you're just a lazy motherfucker. A lazy heifer. Who doesn't believe in herself? That's fine, bitch. I don't give a fuck. But you ain't gonna make fun of me and what I do. And like I was saying, I was gonna say to pay for an education. Even my sibling is a college professor, and he has been for years. And one thing he told me, even with that, and he has the PhD, you can get paid shit. For real. for the work and the time and the effort that you put in. I have had to call parents, depending on what role I was in. When I did the admin role as one of the discipline roles, yeah, I had to call parents who told me, well, I can't do nothing with the child. They done tore up everything in the whole fucking house. They done tore up the TV. They done tore up everything. What you want me to do? By the time I got done, that child didn't give me no. That child didn't give you no. Hell no, no, they didn't. Didn't give me no trouble, no problems. It's like a mother's love. I've called parents who told me, "Well, I'm glad my child is your child in here acting up, goddamn, whatever they do. Well, I'm glad. That's your job. You discipline them. Okay." I work with children who 14-year-old kids working downtown at the stadium when they shouldn't be having no job. No, how do you get? I ride the bus. How do you get home? I take the bus. What time are you getting up? 1, 2 in the morning by yourself? No one. Yeah, miserable. So, bitch, ain't nobody gonna make fun of what I do. Like it ain't shit. Cause you fucking stuck in the dark ages like it's 1980 something. I have worked with children with severe ED. I have worked with children, what do you call them, with the special needs. Of all ages. I worked in some of the nicer areas. I worked in some of the very rough areas. I'm a, I'm versatile, baby. I work with them all. And if I can't, I have sense enough to tell someone I cannot work with that particular situation, or I need help and assistance. Or do you need help and assistance? I have gone into work in buildings with Miss Lewis. We need you in this area because we know you can handle it. Many subs can't. Okay. It may be a struggle. I have worked with children of various ethnic backgrounds. And I have sense enough to know that I can learn, and I do learn from children, from young people. No, bitch, I don't slather my ass all over the fucking earth and force my way into people's worlds and realms who don't want to be bothered with their motherfucking ass, and stalk people and harass people and defame people and slander people like you do, and tries to take their life and switch their destinies. No, bitch, I have not lost. What'd you say? She lost her divinity. No, bitch, I ain't lost no divinities. Because it take a whole lot to work with youth. But you don't know nothing about that because you abandoned yours and make videos about bragging about it. See, you want to turn your head away from those that you have and let others deal with them when I work with those children. All day, every day. Because you just a scorned bitter bitch. No balance. Okay? You need some fucking temperance, goddamn. You ain't did a lick of work in your fucking life, for real. Okay. Damn sure not to be making fun of someone else. Okay. But the work you have done is constantly looking for some goddamn man. Okay. And hoping he got some fucking money. The world card upright. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Prince of Wands upright. Okay. Seven of Cups upright. Okay. Looking for some goddamn man. Looking for a king. Your knight in shining goddamn fucking armor. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. But it is when a motherfucker sits there and makes fun of others. Okay. Making fun of someone, okay, because they want to steal their life and lie about them and try to diminish them because they're jealous, envious, hateful bitch. You, Breauna Jewell Bellamy. That's you. Okay. Looking for the motherfucker to give you the world, okay? But the shit it don't never fucking work, like I've been saying over and over again, okay? And all you do is bring conflict because you're living in fantasy land. An illusion. Delusional. And want to make fun of others who are actually doing work and contributing to society. Living out their divinity. Because it takes a divine person to work with children. And I ain't saying all of them that work with children is divine, goddamn. Okay, I'm talking about me. But I've met some wonderful people, and I've met some wonderful teachers, and I can tell you one thing. So I was getting my hair done one time when I had my sister locks. And we were talking about the schools and children. And the first thing that people want to talk about is the teacher's fault. And I immediately stopped. And the lady who was doing my hair, because she was a sub, no, it's not. Shit teachers have to deal with and go through. How do I know? Because I'm being there every day with them. And the politics of it all. A lot of it's because they're coming from parents like your motherfucking ass, who has delivered them but refuses to raise them. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There you go, bitch. Okay. King of Wands upright. Okay. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So see, bitch, you ain't gonna talk about me. Constantly looking for some goddamn man to give you the fucking world, okay? And make life easy and wonderful for you. But won't contribute to the seed, your seeds. Shut up. You, nothing. You ran off and left them. Hoping you probably hoping you ain't have to come back. But we did that reading already. Okay. Deluded. Okay. Constantly looking for money. And it never comes in the way that you think or want or demand. Something is blocking your ass, bitch. You're being blocked. Well, because of course you are. Because you do this crazy shit and you do it to the wrong people. And you get yourself in the wrong circles and dynamics to sit there and destroy beings, I'm hearing, others. To obtain what it is, to obtain favor, I'm hearing, okay, or what it is that you want, okay, to destroy and diminish others. Bitch, you don't have shit here to be talking about anybody and what they do or do not do for work. I have worked with subs who are more valuable in the building than some teachers. So, bitch, while you making fun of me, you making fun of a whole fucking collective. Bitch, fuck you. Because, see, you don't do shit. You define everything by money, how much a person makes. But like I said, a bitch like you getting that should be gone within a couple of months, if that. The high priestess upright, the chariot in reverse, the sun in reverse. Thinking that you're being, I'm the high priestess. I don't need my children. Children get in the way because I'm the high priestess. I got too much spiritual work to do. Trying to justify your actions and doing it before the fucking world. I'm saying you spill all your guts out before the whole fucking world. Trying to justify your actions to others, really to yourself. That what I'm doing is all right. I can just uplead him and abandon him. No, bitch, you're fucking lying to your fucking self, bitch. And you're lying to everybody else, bitch. Okay? And this is what it brings you in the world of the misfortune. Okay? Misery, sadness, unhappiness. Okay? And to others. Okay? Stop with the goddamn magic, bitch. Okay? And get up out of this energy and grow the fuck up. Trying to shame. And I don't know what makes you think in any way, shape, or form that anything that comes out of your fucking mouth about me or anybody else but me is going to bring me some shame. And she is, and she is, and she is, and she is. And she is, and she loves her immunity. She wants what I have. Many wants my physical and spiritual inheritance. No, you want many's. The physical and spiritual inheritance of others, of many. You project your bullshit off on other people. She can't have you, and she can't be there, and she. One thing about it, bitch, I'm not played out. I walk in that building, they love me. Staff and all. Because I work. You know, I said there's some days that are boring than a motherfucker. But I'm there and I do what I'm required, that is required of me. And more. I have done some shit that I was not in my fucking job description. That I didn't have to do. That I could have very well said, no, that ain't my job description. I don't have to do that. But I wanted to do it. Because it's not about it being in my job description. If the help is needed, the help is needed. If the child needs assistance, the child needs assistance. The child needs some. The little children, it ain't assistance to them. It's being shown security and love. Because they need that in the school building too. What is it? It takes a village, goddamn. And the school is part of the village. Anything else? One thing I don't have, bitch, is a bad reputation. And the bad reputation that you tried to give me, that you tried to place on me. Now, bitch, I'm not quite 100% sure, but I think so. Yeah, y'all tried to have me fired and shit. I think you and Pissies was behind that shit. But that was the same district that called. We need buildings. You good, bitch. Would you apply, bitch? Would you reapply, goddamn? Sure. The job is fucking yours, bitch. After I found out some shit and almost sued their motherfucking ass. Hmm. It's you. Because the damn sure ain't me, bitch. Kind of came out like that. One thing you can't do, bitch, is impersonate me. And one thing I'm not is an impersonator. You can't impersonate me, and I ain't no impersonator, bitch. Bitch, you couldn't walk in the building if your fucking life depended on it. Like I said, the one man said to me one time, when I tell people I'm a sub, I have so many people tell me thank you for your service. And I'm like, I told the guy, I hear that a lot, like I'm at war. And he was like, you are. He's right. Anything else? It is you. Cyberbullying. Talking about me and every little thing that I do. Bitch, you wish you could walk in the building. And here you go again, wasting time, bothering me. Talking about me, stalking me, looking at everything that I say and do to make some kind of commentary on it on your fucking page. And make up some false narrative to justify your actions before others and your fucking self, because you know you're wrong than a motherfucker. And bitch, one thing I don't do is kiss ass. I don't slip up to nobody's state to get involved with nobody who look like they got money, kiss their ass to get that high call for that high position. But you wise with the speech. I'm wise. Wiser than Solomon. Biblical prophecies being fulfilled. Anyone who causes these little ones to stumble, it would be better to have a millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Do not be exacerbating your children so that they do not become downhearted. Suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. Now that's going to kill the children. That's going to kill your children. It's a whole lot more in there about children. What else? And protecting them. And here you go again, bitch. You envious, hateful bitch. So I was going to talk about her as per usual. Yes, bitch, I call my energy back because I had always said that shit. See, I didn't want to sound like a petty bitch like you. It's silly. I say that. I said, oh, okay. Bitch, I don't know what this shit is about. You need to, whatever this shit is, you need to deal with that shit, bitch. But that's you snooping on me constantly. See what I'm doing and see what you can talk about and laugh about and make fun of. Because you ain't doing shit. But being a fucking nuisance. Stop fucking this all the goddamn time. And be a parent. And not taking them with you someplace they don't know shit about to fuck up their little life because you're trying to go after some goddamn man and his money. There you go, bitch. As per usual. And so the teachers don't have to deal with the children who have been exacerbated and downhearted, who wants to just kick anybody's ass, and especially in authority, because the parent is an authority, and that's who they're fucking pissed with. This what they need, bitch. Guidance. And bitch, when I work with their ass, that's exactly what I strive to give them. Because I'm the adult in the room. Wealth ain't in dollars. Wealth is beyond that. And goddamn, working with children. There's wealth in that. The children are wealth. Their prosperity. What was the song back in the day? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way, or something like that. So they can lead the way. What else? And stop being obsessed with me and what I do. Like I said, stop talking about my life and focus on yours, because this all you bring is conflict. And it's what the children, how they feel when they're being neglected and unloved. Get them out of a state of poverty. And it's not financial. Emotional. Leaving them, I'm hearing, in a spirit of lack. For your lack of attendance. For your lack of attending to them and emotional pain. And you expect it. You got a class, they got a whole bunch of kids in there. And stop this shit all the goddamn time. Worrying about other people's life and worrying about mine. What's going to happen with it? What's happening? So I can put it together and say that's me. And say she counting on me. She wants my life and my destinies. Because that's what you do. I don't understand how people expect one human being who's supposed to be teaching them academics. Because this is what happens. Karma raining on your fucking head. Always worried about this shit. And community, bitch. I'm part of the community. The village. Like I said. I understand that. How people expect one human being. They got a class full. 20, 30 children. And it's supposed to be teaching them, how to write, hear the ABCs. Okay. So you can go in the world and be a functional human being, have knowledge, to expand the mind and so on and so on. But they people want them to parent their children. And it's all your fault. Well, my child is bad than a motherfucker. And disrespectful as hell. And now he's kicking my ass. No, that's not the teacher's fault. You have some teachers, in every profession, you have people who don't care. You have some teachers who are burnt out. They got a lot going on besides just the classroom and just your particular child. I have seen children who, by the time they get to the 4th grade, they're hell on wheels, and come to find out here, they had been telling the parent what was going on with the child since the kindergarten. You just picking on him. What makes your child so special that this person wants to just pick on your child? You may have some incidents of that, but see, this is just shit that just the lack of accountability is just rampant in the world right now. And by the time they get to the 4th grade, where they're kicking everybody's ass in the school and outside the school, and mama's ass too, then here come the mom. I should listen to y'all trying to tell me when he was in the kindergarten. Yeah. Anything else about this bitch bothering me? This part of my North Node, goddamn shit, I guess. Now, I've always worked with children, okay? Because this is what I am. And this is what I offer. Even in my role as a substitute with the little check that I get. That keeps the roof over my head, my car running, my lights and my gas on, and everything else. And that's none of your fucking business. And no, bitch, I didn't lose my divinities. And one thing I ain't is no fucking Jezebel. Which I know you've tried to say that. And what I'm doing is very legal. Not them legal issues you got. And like I said, I could not work with children if I had all that shit that you were saying. Yeah, the feds got her. And come out once again, the community. And my ancestors are more than pleased, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you or nobody else thinks. Or who you were trying to entertain. Or stop doing this shit, bitch. Okay. And that's one thing. I don't do no black magic witchcraft. Okay. Whoever else you was trying to entertain and impress. I take a dime. And unlike your motherfucking ass, no, this will not be a part of my life, nor my existence. You mad at man? No, bitch. You are. Have a ball. Moving the fuck on. All right, that's it. Okay. I'm going to defend myself and tell my truth. I'm some fucking weirdo bitch I've never met a day in my fucking life. But you don't tell my fucking story, I tell my story. You all have favor. Peace.